my dear students. We are all the time talking about portal vein. Portal vein supplies blood to the liver. XYZ vein drains into portal vein. Portocaval anastomosis, portal hypertension. I think it's time we studied the anatomy of portal vein and its surgical anatomy. So today the topic is surgical anatomy of portal vein. I'm Dr. Vaishali Barambe. I've been teaching anatomy for more than 25 years and I love it. I want to bring anatomy to you in such a way that you learn it well, you understand it, you are able to use it easily in your clinical practice. So, what is the portal vein? Portal vein is a vein that drains blood from your gut. Simple. Except for the lower part of anal canal, which is not drained by portal vein, it also drains blood from your spleen, pancreas, and gallbladder. So, here's the concept map of portal vein. From the GIT, except lower end of anal canal, from the spleen, pancreas, gallbladder, blood drains into the portal vein. This portal vein carries all this loaded blood into the liver and branches out into right and left branches, releasing the blood into the liver through sinusoids. The blood now flows through sinusoids and finally drains into the hepatic veins, right, middle, and left, and drains into the inferior vena cava. So this is what portal vein is all about, from where, of course, the blood goes into the systemic circulation. This is, in short, your portal vein. It has some peculiarities. It's not like any other. It's a little unique vein in that it begins in capillaries and ends in capillaries. Did you note that? It begins in the form of capillaries from the gut, forms a proper vein, and then it again breaks up into the liver. Normally, veins are formed and they drain blood. They don't break back, isn't it? So that makes portal vein rather unique. It has got no valves. It acts as a massive reservoir of blood. Almost it is said that 1/4 to 1/3 of your blood, total blood, can stay in the portal vein. It conveys blood products which are absorbed from the gut into the liver. And it has got two streams of blood flowing through. One coming from superior mesenteric, which is carrying blood loaded with absorbed products from gut. One is coming from the spleen, which is carrying products like, blood breakdown products for RBCs and so on. Finally, it provides 66 to 75% of the blood requirement of liver. That's your portal vein. Let's learn a little bit more about it. It is formed by union of superior mesenteric vein and the splenic vein behind the neck of pancreas in front of inferior vena cava. Wait, you will understand it. Here is the formation behind the neck of pancreas. It has got two parts to it. An extrahepatic part which lies outside the liver and an intrahepatic part which lies within the liver. The extrahepatic part, as you can see, is divided by the duodenum into infraduodenal, retroduodenal and supraduodenal parts. I hope you're understanding all this. And then, of course, the rest of the portal vein divides and branches off into the liver. That's the intrahepatic part of portal vein. So let's understand each of these bits. So infraduodenal, the part which is below the duodenum, it is related posteriorly to the inferior vena cava, on the right to the bile duct, in front to the neck of pancreas. As it rises upwards, it slowly slides behind the duodenum here. Okay, here it is anteriorly related to the first part of duodenum, on the right related to the common bile duct. Now it slides further upwards to pass above the duodenum. This is the supraduodenal part. As you can see, this part is enclosed within the two folds of lesser omentum in the right free margin of lesser omentum, such that on the left and anterior it's related to hepatic artery proper. To the right and anterior it's related to the bile duct. This portal vein now reaches the porta hepatis, where you can see it dividing into right and left branches of portal vein, related anteriorly to the two hepatic ducts and to the two hepatic arteries, right and left. Structures at porta hepatis DAV, hepatic ducts D, hepatic arteries A, and the portal veins V, DAV. Also present here is the hepatic plexus of nerves, cystic duct, and lymphatic from the liver. So that's the porta hepatis. That's where you find your portal vein. Now what happens? Let's quickly learn the tributaries of this extrahepatic part. So we know that portal vein is formed by union of superior mesenteric vein and splenic vein. See how the splenic vein also receives inferior mesenteric vein. The portal vein now ascends upwards towards the liver, receiving superior pancreaticoduodenal, left gastric vein, which also receives the esophageal veins, right gastric vein, which may receive prepyloric vein. All this blood now reaches porta hepatis, and the portal vein divides into right and left branches of portal vein. The right branch receives also the cystic vein. The left branch receives the parambilical veins, which are veins present in the free margin of the falciform ligament. Now we go to the intrahepatic. What does the portal vein do inside the liver? Inside the liver, remember, the portal vein releases blood into portal canals in the form of branches. From portal canal, blood goes into hepatic sinusoids, then into central veins, then into hepatic veins, and finally into inferior vena cava. That's the direction in which blood is going to flow. Okay. So within the liver, remember, the portal vein divides almost at a level such that it helps to divide your liver into superior and inferior half, which is very important regarding the quinoid segments. There's a separate lecture on quinoid segments of liver. Please go and see that to understand further details. But here now you can see your portal vein dividing into right branch of portal vein and the left branch of portal vein. The right branch now divides into two anterior branches, anterior superior, anterior inferior. Two posterior branches, posterior superior, posterior inferior. Left branch divides into lateral and medial, lateral superior, lateral inferior, medial superior, medial inferior, and both the branches supply the caudate lobe. Got it? So the level at which your portal vein branches out helps to divide your liver into upper half, superior half, and inferior half. Please access the quinoid segments of liver lecture to understand those 8 segments and their anatomy. So let's talk about surgical anatomy of portal vein, which is very important. Just take a pause, breathe in, and let's go into the surgical anatomy. Portal vein has a central role to play in the venous drainage of gastrointestinal tract. So understanding its anatomy is crucial for almost all surgical procedures involving abdomen. So involving liver, involving pancreas, involving other parts of GIT. So liver surgeries. In hepatic surgeries such as liver resection, you have to have a precise knowledge of portal vein anatomy so that you don't land up having a massive bleed in surgery. In conditions like portal hypertension, in case of cirrhosis of liver, you have so many varices happening and ascites happening. You have to know the anatomy of portal vein to understand and treat these conditions. Surgical interventions like portosystemic shunts of liver may be required to be made, in which case you have to know the anatomy of portal vein. Take a look at this image. You are seeing the portal vein branching out. You are seeing the hepatic veins, and you are seeing a portosystemic shunt, shunting blood from the portal vein into the hepatic vein, bypassing the liver. This is a treatment of portocaval anastomosis related complications. Important treatment, you must understand this. So that's another lecture has been created on portocaval anastomosis. Do access that to understand more. For pancreatic surgery also, because of the close proximity of the portal vein, you have to know the anatomy well. Otherwise, it can lead to severe hemorrhage. In case of trauma, also portal vein, which is so centrally situated, can lead to life-threatening hemorrhage. Portal vein has got its own set of anatomical variations. Before operating on any planned abdominal surgery, pre-operative imaging and planning should be done so that such variations are identified. Due to high blood flow, injury to portal vein leads to severe hemorrhage. Portal vein can also undergo thrombosis leading to ischemia or exacerbation of portal hypertension. Thus, the portal vein anatomy and its relationship with surrounding structures is crucial for surgical practice. How? Mastery of portal vein helps in prevention of intraoperative complications, successful execution of complex surgeries involving liver, pancreas, and rest of the gut, GIT. So I hope this lecture helped you to understand the portal vein quickly and well. Notes and MCQs on every lecture that I have created are available on my website or vbanatomy.com. Please access those to understand more. If you want to understand the anatomy of liver, please access my lecture on anatomy of liver. This will give you detailed anatomy of the liver itself. If you've liked the lecture, do like and subscribe to my channel. Do share this lecture with your friends. Feel free to comment and give suggestions about any other lectures you might be interested in seeing. So that was, in short, the surgical anatomy of portal vein. I loved taking this lecture. I know it is very relevant for all of you. I hope this helps you in your clinical practice. I'll see you across the screen now in some other lecture. Bye.